I just got back home from being at my dad's for the weekend. It's day 1 of week 2. I just went to Zaxby's and got a grilled chicken salad. So that's my first meal of the day.
For dinner tonight, I'm keeping it simple. I'm making barbecue chicken using Tabitha Brown's sweet, smoky seasoning. And I found this sugar-free barbecue sauce from GU's. I lightly seasoned the chicken with that, popped it in the air fryer, and put on the sauce. And then I also had cauliflower rice. I added heavy cream, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some cheddar cheese to that. And it was so yummy, actually. And then, of course, went for a walk because nightly walks are going to make my back small.
Hi, I think it's day 9. I don't remember. I'm feeling pretty good today. I didn't eat breakfast, of course, but I'm gonna have some lunch. But for lunch, I'm just gonna have my leftovers from last night because that's easy. So while my food's heating up, last week I felt like went really well, but it was a little bit hard because my period was on and I was just adjusting to all the different foods that I was eating and just not having sugar and desserts every night, which was probably the biggest challenge. But I feel like I found really good substitutes, with the Quest Reese cup things and the chips and stuff. And yeah, I don't feel like I've been having insane sugar cravings. I've been okay. And I had a big challenge over the weekend being with my family and not being able to eat what they were eating, but it actually wasn't bad. I was okay, but I thought it would be a lot harder than it was. I feel excited about being 8.4 pounds down, but this week my goal is to do at least 30 minutes of a walk every day, even if it's just on my treadmill or doing a Grow with Joe walking workout. But I'm going to try to get outside some too, so I'm excited about this week. I low-key feel like this is a huge meal to have for lunch, but it is what it is.
Very good.
For dinner tonight, I'm making meatloaf with mashed cauliflower and green beans. This was a really good meal and it felt pretty normal. The main difference in making my meatloaf today that is unusual from the way that I usually do it is that there are no breadcrumbs in it, and then obviously I needed to use sugar-free ketchup. So those are my main differences, but for making this tonight, I chopped up an onion and put that in there, and then I also did garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, a little squirt of ketchup, 2 eggs, and some Parmesan cheese. I always sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese in mine. And usually I have green peppers in it too, but I just didn't have any. So there's none in there. But it was super easy to make. I baked it in the oven at 375 for about 45 minutes, and it came out really well. And then for the topping, usually I do a mix of sugar and I do a mix of ketchup and brown sugar, but I couldn't use sugar, so I found this monk fruit sweetener that's like a sugar substitute, a brown sugar substitute, and I mixed those together. I didn't use a lot of this because it still was kind of high in carbs, but yeah, it was super good. It tasted honestly just like my regular meatloaf did. I didn't notice any differences at all, and this was just a really good meal to have for the night. Also, with the mashed cauliflower, I buy it from Bird's Eye and just heat it up in the microwave, but I've found that adding a splash of heavy cream to it makes it taste so much better, and it just has a creamier texture. And then obviously adding your own salt and pepper, that makes it so much better. But this was a really good meal.
When I was at my dad's over the weekend, my stepmom and my dad were coughing and sneezing and hacking all over the place. And today I'm doing the same thing. So I'm taking some of this piece next. I skipped breakfast. I only had the meatloaf and green beans for lunch. And I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner, but I'm going to go lay down for a little bit.
I ended up doing breakfast for dinner. I found these keto blueberry muffins. So I used this muffin mix. There were 3 grams of carbs. And then I also made some sausage and eggs. I love this Swaggerty sausage. I just think they have the best sausage of all of the sausage brands. So yeah, I whipped up some eggs. I put a little cheese in them, scrambled those up. I thought this was really good. The muffins had a weird texture, but they tasted good. The next day I still wasn't feeling great, so I wanted to keep it easy. I had the same exact thing for breakfast as I had for dinner. And then for dinner, I made some air fryer chicken wings and green beans. I literally just put some oil and lemon pepper seasoning on the wings and threw them in the air fryer. Super easy. And then I had to have me a Quest in the night. For the 5th day, I had the same wings for lunch. Y'all know I'm always eating the same thing for lunch the next day. Super easy. They honestly came out better the 2nd day because I cooked them a little bit longer and they came out a little more crispy after I threw them in there for 10 minutes. And then I had some green beans on the side because green beans are good and they're easy. I also wanted to try these legendary chips as a snack this day. These were the barbecue ones that were really good. They're really high in protein and they're not super high on carbs, so it was a good thing to have. And then for dinner, I wanted to make beef and broccoli, so I just got some flank steak, sliced it really thin, and then sauteed it in a pan with a couple of seasonings. And then I got this sugar-free stir-fry sauce. It's from that same G. Hughes brand that I made the barbecue chicken with earlier in the week. And then I threw in some broccoli. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. This meal, it just wasn't really doing it for me. I think part of where I messed up was that I didn't drain the broccoli. And so there was a lot of water that got in there. And then it was just gross and I was irritated.
I'm hungry and today I'm irritated. I feel like I've been eating all day. I've been snacking and I'm still so hungry. And today's the first day that I've really considered quitting because I just want to eat. I want some food. I want something fat. Anything. I'm struggling today. I might be switching to a calorie deficit for week 3.
So like I said, I was still hungry, so I went and got this burger in a bowl from this local place. It was so yummy. It just had mayonnaise, pickles, lettuce, cheese. And then I went for another little walk. But that pretty much completes my week. I did another weigh-in, which you will see here in a second. But this week overall was good, but it was a little bit more challenging. I was a little more over doing this whole keto diet this week. But we are going to push forward and do another week. Again, I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, but I think right now it is helping me build discipline, and that's something that I can be happy about and proud of. So I'm going to just continue. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see y'all next week.